I was a shy girl who hated her appearance, thought her personality was boring, only ever thought about her insecurities all day long, was so scared of talking to new people that she was basically living life on mute mode, had no self-belief and doubted whether she would actually be able to get all of the things that she desired, which inevitably sabotaged the lifestyle that she lived every single day. That same girl is now a full-time influencer with a combined following of over 2 million followers. She talks and is perceived for a living. She openly chose that lifestyle. She does public speaking, she networks, she's been on a whole billboard, she makes new friends, she found the confidence to model, and she's built an entire career off of just being who she is. That very same person who hated herself, who was so insecure about who she was. How is that even possible? Because she created an alter ego. And that girl was me, Tamkaur, who many of you know me as. But the truth is, Tamkaur isn't even my real name. It's actually the name that I assigned to my alter ego, who I've been going by as since 2019. Cause see, when I was 19 years old and starting university, I was so done with being this girl because I knew that somewhere in me I had the potential, and hopefully that one day I would be able to be this girl. And I eventually got there, because the truth is that you already have all of the knowledge, all of the skills, and all of the confidence you would ever need. The only thing that is stopping you from getting there is the fact that your self-perception hasn't caught up to your full potential. And by the end of this video, that is no longer going to be a problem for you. You are about to learn in this video the power and benefits that having an alter ego brings, what it fully means, a step-by-step guide to creating yours, and then of course we're gonna end the video with practical steps to get you set on your journey. Before we get into it, be sure to follow me on my other socials where I always post exclusive bite-sized self-development content. A lot of you already knew that this video was coming because I already posted some alter ego content on my Instagram. You can also check out my Snapchat and Facebook where I post even more content on a daily basis through the links below in the description. And you can pre-order my book, which is literally coming out in a few weeks. I actually recently recorded the audiobook version of it where I do an exclusive Q&A at the end of the audiobook reading. So you can click the link below in the description because it's available to pre-order worldwide. And if you pre-order it rather than waiting to buy it on the release day, you'll actually be supporting me and this book so much, because the more pre-orders the book gets, the higher it will rank in book charts. This video has also been brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that is designed to help entrepreneurs stand out and succeed online regardless of their current knowledge or expertise. Meaning, if you are a beginner and your 2024 goal was to set up a business and you have no idea how, like you literally don't even know what the first step is, Squarespace has got you covered. Because whether you are that beginner who's just starting out, or if you're a little bit more experienced in the business world and you're managing a growing brand, Squarespace has so many tools to help you on your journey no matter what your needs. They make it so easy to create a beautiful website, to engage with your audience, and to sell absolutely anything, whether it be products or content, all in one place and on your own terms. For example, if you're just starting out, then Squarespace's wide array of website templates are gonna come in clutch for you, because you're gonna appear like a professional website builder in a matter of hours. Not to mention, Squarespace has an entire blog feature where any question you would ever have, they are there with a full article and a video tutorial showing you how it works. For example, making sure your website is SEO friendly, setting up new email marketing campaigns to make sure that your business is growing and you are gaining as much traffic as you possibly can to make sure you can make your business as successful as possible as soon as it basically starts. Whereas if you are already managing a growing brand, there are so many different tools for you to take advantage of as well. You can now take advantage of Squarespace AI, where you can generate instant and personalized results that get to know you and your brand identity. No matter the placement, Squarespace AI is going to make living, standing out, and succeeding online easier than ever. And if you're like me and you're in the social media space and you're not really sure if you want to be selling products on your online shop, not to worry, because Squarespace is giving solutions to absolutely everybody. You can sell services, you can have your audience or clientele book appointments with you with Squarespace's built-in features. The list goes on. So you guys can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and whenever you're ready to launch, you can come back to this video and click my unique link below in the description, squarespace.com/Tamkaur, because through that link link, you will get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Chapter 1, the power and benefits of the alter ego. So what is an alter ego? An alter ego is basically an alternate self, one that is different from your original or current self, and most importantly, a version of yourself that has all of the characteristics that you wish to have but just don't feel come to you naturally. It's you stepping into the ideal version of yourself, one without limits. And to quickly clear up any misconceptions, no, it isn't fake or acting or pretending or deceiving others, okay? This is simply embodying the ideal characteristics you wish to have until they naturally become a part of you. It's still you being yourself, just you without any baggage, without any past, without any insecurities, without the conditioning that other people have given to you by telling you what you are and are not capable of. See, an alter ego is like you, but just on fresh paper. It does not take into account your embarrassing moments, your failures, your mistakes, or other people's opinions. It doesn't remember the fact that you've been shy and quiet for the last few decades of your life. It's literally like waking up one day and saying, I feel like being a public speaker today, and then just doing it because you're actually able to. And there's no inner critic in your mind that's like, oh, but you can't do that because you're this, and this. You're nothing. This is a brand new day of your life. You get to be whatever you want to be. And I'll give you a personal example of how this has worked within my life. So my entire life, I was super shy and timid, couldn't make new friends, couldn't speak to new people, really didn't like myself, you know, everything I said in the intro of this video. So I was 19 and starting university. I was going to a new city. There was no one from my school that was going to be there. And I thought, this is the perfect moment to reinvent myself. I was so sick and tired of being the same person every single day when I didn't even like that person. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna reinvent myself. I wanna be a social butterfly. I wanna be able to talk to strangers here and there. I want a huge friendship group. I wanna be at all the parties. I wanna be the life of the party. So how the hell do I get over there when I'm currently here and I can barely say 3 words? And so all I did was I imagined myself in my head, but what I would look like if I had all the confidence in the world. How would I walk? How would I talk? How would I act? How would I approach certain situations? You know, when I'm walking in on the first day of university, what would I do right now in my comfort zone of what I've always known versus what would the version of me with loads of social confidence do? And I started to think about it that way. But we'll get fully into the alter ego tutorial in chapter 2. So how do we actually know if having an alter ego works? Well, one, your favorite celebrity probably has one. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and Nicki Minaj all use one, just to name a few. Beyonce's alter ego is called Sasha Fierce. Beyonce herself has said in interviews that she had to make this alter ego. She gave the alter ego an entirely different name because Beyonce herself was so quiet and shy in real life and felt very socially awkward that she had to separate herself from who she had been to be able to have a confident and assertive on-stage presence so that she could succeed in her career. She did that so many times that she said whenever she started to hear music, put some high heels on and think about Sasha Fierce, she immediately turned into her alter ego. Her posture was different, her walk was different, everything about her felt different, even down to the way that she spoke. She said that she used this alter ego strategy for a few years until she felt that she matured enough that she didn't even need to use it anymore. And this is what I mean, guys. Like, you will do it enough times that it will start to become a part of your regular personality. And all of those traits you once thought that you would never be able to have or felt so far away from the true version of you will literally come to you so easily. And then 2, it's literally a psychological strategy. And in psychology, having an alter ego is referred to as the Batman effect. In psychology, they say to use this strategy when you feel like you're in a stressful situation and you want to move forward with confidence, and having an alter ego in that situation helps you do it. As long as you choose your alter ego wisely and you let them take charge, you will be able to move forward in literally any situation. Okay, so now that we understand what it actually is, why should we even do this? What are the benefits? The main benefit of having an alter ego is that it gives you greater self-control and confidence. This is because creating your own alter ego is a form of self-distancing. You are distancing yourself from the identity that you have always known and been comfortable with, but in a way has been holding you back in many aspects. It's also a really great way to detach, because whenever you're in a difficult situation, it allows you to distance yourself from your immediate feelings and instead look at something more objectively and from a stance that's going to benefit you, rather than think, oh my god, I don't know what to do now. An alter ego is my favorite thing because it means that you can finally remove yourself from the past that's been holding you back this entire time. Just like I said at the beginning of the video, you already have all of the knowledge and confidence you need, so why doesn't it come out? Because your self-perception hasn't caught up. Your self-perception, a lot of ours, most of the time, is stuck at a moment in the past. So many of us are like, okay, but I used to make these mistakes, or this is what I used to do, or this has been my experience up until now. Okay, So what? You're telling me that your past, something that is over and done with and no longer exists, is forming your current identity in this moment. For what? It literally makes no sense. We make the biggest mistakes of allowing our past to create a belief system, an identity for us that no longer aligns with who we are growing into, and where we are going. Because think about it this way. If you right now in this moment are not 100% happy with what you've got, and you can think of at least 3 ways that you'd like to change or adopt a different mentality or personality, then that right there just goes to show everything you've done up until this point didn't get you your desired result. So then why are you still using the past, the thing that evidently did not work, to keep forming your future? To allow all of that past noise to define who you are and where you should go, when it clearly didn't get you what you wanted. Now is the time to change, to create a new identity and a new mindset. The only reason we ever experience self-doubt is because we are using the person we have been to define who we are now. And it's a lot more complicated than you think. And another personal example from me is when I was 19 and I made my alter ego and I thought I'm gonna do all of these confident activities. It was working. I was making friends, I was talking to people, I was succeeding in my goal, but my internal confidence wasn't quite there yet. I knew exactly how to play the part, but I just didn't genuinely feel like it. But why wouldn't I? I was doing everything to prove that I was now a person who could talk to people and make friends, and I was proving my old self wrong, but I didn't feel that way on the inside because my self-perception was still stuck at the person I was at 15 years old. Every single time I thought of myself, I had flashbacks to my awkward teen self because that is what I was used to. That is the identity I had been stuck with for so many years. I got flashbacks of times that I was too afraid to speak to people, or I never stepped outside of my comfort zone, or other people got more opportunities or made more friends than I ever did because I never stood out or spoke. And because all of those memories were coming to the surface when I was thinking about who I was, it meant that I was stuck in a place in the past that had nothing to do with who I was now, because all of the people that I was meeting would have had no idea that I was that shy and that timid before. And so it was time to allow my self-perception to match with my new current identity. You have to remember that we all have conditioning on who we are. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you have this really stubborn idea of who you are in your head or what your weaknesses are, such as I'm really lazy and I procrastinate a lot when I do work, and that is your core thought about your identity and who you are when it comes to work situations, that is going to manifest itself in every other area of your life because that one part of you is starting to form your entire identity. But when you adopt an alter ego, like Beyonce did with Sasha Fierce, or you simply just start thinking of yourself in third person so that you detach from who you have been and all of the mistakes that you used to make, it will actually allow you to stick to your goals because now you don't have any of that baggage holding you back. This helps when you're trying to stick to your exercise goals, to your business plan, or just to your personal development. And lastly for this chapter, can anyone do it? The answer is yes. This is because you and everyone else around you, we can all think of at least one example where we have changed our persona or our identity or our personality to suit the situation or the people around us. You don't act in the way that you do at work at home. You don't act the same way with your friends than you do with your family, and vice versa. It just keeps changing. You know how to adopt a different persona in different situations to benefit yourself and to fit into different groups. You probably have completely opposite personalities depending on who you're hanging around with, where you are, in which situation. So if you can do little things like that every single day, I promise you, you can create an alter ego to get rid of your weaknesses, build on your strengths, and become a stronger, more powerful version of yourself than you ever have been. Chapter number 2, the step-by-step guide to creating your alter ego. Now, you might want to take out some paper, okay, a pad and a pen, because these are 7 in-depth steps in order of creating your alter ego. By the time this video is done, you are going to be sorted, I promise you. Step number 1 is the why. This is where you start figuring out the purpose of your alter ego. Why the hell are you even creating an alter ego in the first place? Is it to get rid of some weaknesses? Is it to adopt some new personality traits? Is it to feel more confident when it comes to public speaking, to be better in social scenarios, to just feel some more inner confidence in your life, to be a better performer? The list goes on. Your why needs to be so strong. This is a very popular concept when it comes to business plans and even self-development because it's the thing that keeps you consistent on your journey. If you're just like, I'm gonna make an alter ego because I feel like it would be cool and I would be hotter, a little bit fickle, and you might not remember it. Because throughout this process, you need to know the most detail about your alter ego to, first of all, be able to step into their shoes a lot better, but also to make sure that this is a consistent habit that you can maintain to get all of the benefits from it. Step 2, new traits. This is where you figure out all of the new characteristics you want your alter ego to have, and majority of the time, these are gonna be things that you feel that you lack or you struggle with and just don't come to you naturally. It can be personality traits, traits, it can be values, it could even be hobbies, the way they talk, the way they move, their mannerisms. So for me, it was the ability to talk to people, to show myself on camera. I wanted the value that I was confident in my own skin without having to change anything about myself, that I was really secure in my authentic self-expression so I could go out as overdressed as I like without worrying about other people's perceptions of me, and so on. But if you are struggling with this part, a really helpful tool is to think about people that you admire. This could be people you know in real life, these could be celebrities, people you look up to in the media, and actually think, why do I admire them? You don't admire people just because they're pretty and they seem cool. Everybody admires different people because they align with the potential that we all have within ourselves. You can recognize beauty in other people because you too have that beauty within yourself. So why are your idols your idols? Why do you admire that celebrity so much? Is it their confidence? Is it their work ethic? It's really like asking yourself, what would X do? What would Beyonce do? What would your idol do in a certain situation? And then starting to replicate that energy in a way that suits you and your life. Step number 3 is deep mapping. This is where you need to start understanding every little insignificant detail of who your alter ego is. Because think about it, we are creating a whole new persona, like a whole new person. I know they're still you, but they are you without limits, okay? And let's say you're like 20 years old watching this video, you might be 16, you might be 30. That is quite a few decades of your life where you have been building the current identity you have. You have all of these memories to back it up, you have all of this knowledge, interactions with others, everything. This new persona that you are creating today doesn't have any of that, so you need to have the responsibility of creating that for them. Because honestly, the worst mistake you can make when it comes to creating an alter ego is confusion, okay? If they're confident but you don't know much else about them, you wouldn't know how they would approach a stressful situation. Are they more assertive? Are they classy and laid back and detached? If you don't know your alter ego inside and out, then it's going to make the stepping into their shoes and acting as them in certain situations very ineffective, because you're not even going to know what they're going to do, and that is going to prompt you to step back into what you're comfortable with, which is the person you have been this entire time. So when it comes to deep mapping, some questions to ask yourself is, how would they act in a stressful situation? How do they approach their career? How do they approach dating? What is their mindset when it comes to romantic relationships? How would they act when they are being mistreated and they're starting to feel a little bit angry? Like, what is their response? How would they act if they fell in love? How would they go about fixing a bad day? What does a good day look like to them? If they were on a stage about to do some public speaking, what is their approach to that? Are they more comedic? Do they take it super seriously? Is it loads of preparation? Is it being goofy, freestyling it and allowing your authentic energy to flow? Step number 4 is to pick your avatar. This is the super fun and girly part. This is where you get to decide how your alter ego appears. Now, it's very common when you're creating an alter ego to give them a different name, because like I said before, this is distancing yourself from yourself. So another name is really helpful. Just like I said, Tamkaur isn't actually my real name. I'd never gone by that name until I was 19. So it really helped kind of leave my past baggage behind. But another really helpful solution is to change up your appearance a little bit. It can be super subtle. Maybe you'll get some highlights, maybe you'll cut your hair. One thing I did at one point was get a nose piercing just because I wanted to feel something. You can change up your makeup look. You can stop wearing makeup. You can finally start dressing in your real authentic style rather than following trends. This is all about self-expression. For me personally, fashion is a really big thing, and an outfit really decides how I strut out that day. If I've barely put any effort in and I'm just in sweats, that shows in my body language and how I show up to things. But when I am channeling tamkaur energy, I'm always in heels. I'm always in a cute fit. I'm always decked out in my jewelry. I've always got a nice full face of glam on. I've always done my hair and I've got my extensions in. Like, I'm feeling like that girl, and then that shows through my mannerisms. That energy literally flows from me. Step number 5, values and core identity. This is a little bit similar to deep mapping, but rather than assessing how they would approach certain situations, now we are thinking about the backstory of your alter ego. This is where you figure out their values. What's important to them? Where do they want to go in life? What do they value? What do they not care about as much? What are their preferences? What are their strengths? What are they motivated by? And if you really want to get technical with it, since this is a new person, what has been their history up until this point? Because your history has influenced you a lot. And if maybe you've struggled in the past, maybe you had really difficult time in school or in a workplace, now that started to kind of dampen your confidence a bit, maybe their history and their memories are all confident ones. Maybe it's that they've always succeeded, that every task they approach, they do and fulfill with ease. They are just that kind of person. They are the A-star student. Maybe they're a really good athlete. They've been in every gifted program. They are so naturally talented. You can make it up as you go so that your alter ego's history and experience matches who you want them to be today and how confident they are. Step number 6, the when. This is really important because this is when you're going to decide when to actually bring out your alter ego in your life, because it's not going to be 24/7. Your authenticity is really, really important. And for some people, like Beyonce, for example, the alter ego only comes out in the workplace. For me, especially when I'm on camera or when I'm at certain events, that's when tamkaur energy comes out. But I know on the inside, I am such an introvert. Like, I'm such a homebody, and I do separate myself from that a lot of the time because that would sabotage me in my career. But I love to also appreciate that part of myself. That's where self-love comes in. So it's really important to kind of create those boundaries and those spaces where it's like, this is when I'm going to channel you, and this is when I get to be who I want to be without thinking too much about it. But then again, for other people, your alter ego might just be super simple, and it might just be an avenue for you to try and develop your confidence until it naturally becomes a part of you, in which case you might channel it every single day. And lastly, for this chapter, step number 7, act until it's natural. I really encourage you to experiment with your alter ego in the beginning stages as often and as frequently in as many situations and with as many people as you possibly can. I'm talking when you are going to get your morning coffee, you are making small talk with the barista if that is what aligns with who your alter ego is. Or if you are going to see a friend at a super casual occasion, you are turning up in your most overdressed, authentic, expressive outfit because that is exactly what your alter ego would do. Okay, you are practicing at home at how you would do public speaking, about how you would talk to people and work the room at a party or at a networking event. This is basically so that you can get as much practice as you can in different scenarios so that your alter ego becomes used to you ASAP, because it will take some time to start to adopt this new persona and integrate them seamlessly within your life. And the more practice you get, the better. Plus, it allows you to evaluate and chop and change it if you feel like it doesn't really suit you or it's too far from your authenticity. Really see how it feels, how it shows up, maybe how other people respond to it, whether your behavior can adapt to it, and how it's influencing your mindset. And that brings us to the final chapter. Chapter number 3, homework. This is very common at the end of all of my YouTube videos and podcast episodes. Shout out Self-Obsessed on all platforms. Check it out in the description if you haven't already. So yeah, if you're new here, at the end of every video or podcast episode, I always give a list of practical tips to make sure that you start your journey straight away. Because chapter 2 of this video covered all of the practical steps and guide on how to create your alter ego, I want to do something a little bit different with the homework chapter today. Instead, I'm going to give you guys some questions to either think about or journal about. I highly recommend that, to really help you form an effective strategy that is going to be personal to you and really work for you from here, because an alter ego is different to absolutely everybody. Question number 1, what qualities do you wish you had? Do you wish you were a natural performer, more outspoken, a fashion icon, smarter with money? Question 2, now journal or have a think about what is actually preventing you and holding you back from having those qualities. Is it self-doubt? Is it fear? Is it the worry about being perceived and judged by others? Is it backlash from friends or family? Is it your past mistakes or the fact that you might have failed before? Or is it just the fact that your current identity doesn't match up? The more detailed you can answer this and really get behind the fact of what are your blockages, the better you can then create and form your alter ego that doesn't have any of those things. Question number 3, if tomorrow was the first day of your life, how would you act? How would you be when you wake up? How would you approach your work day? How would you feel knowing that you have no past, you've made no mistakes, no exes, no messy breakups, no mistakes, no embarrassing moments? How would you live? How would you carry yourself knowing that you had all of the knowledge and all of the wisdom with none of that past experience? Nothing to fear, because nothing's ever gone wrong in your life before. And finally, now that you know exactly what you want to have and what might be holding you back from that, and what you would do if you didn't have any of that past baggage, what would your alter ego do, walk, act, talk, speak like? And it links back to that entire mapping process. Now you've really gotten into all of the detail as to what's gotten you to this point and how you can get to the next point. But before this video ends, I actually discovered a book that I'd love to recommend to you guys. It's called The Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman. So if you guys really like this concept and you want to learn more about it, then that is something that you guys can add to your reading list. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait for you all to start your journeys. Be sure to comment down below and let me know, what is your alter ego's name gonna be? Are you gonna start this journey? Feel free to message me on Instagram and give me a follow on social platforms to keep up with all of the new advice that I will be putting out on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching till the end and all of the support you guys give me. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you same time next Friday for a brand new video, and there'll also be a brand new video on my second YouTube channel, Tamkaur Vlogs, every Sunday. Be sure to check it out. Bye!